Hi, my name is Ismael Cardoso Rivera, and I'm going to do this presentation in my name and in the name of Dr. Aurora Madariaga Ortuzar. I'm sorry if my English is not quite perfect, but I will try the best in order to this presentation be at least acceptable. The title of this research, or it's Designing Workshops on Civic Culture for Inclusive Transmedia Storytelling. This is a phrase, a sentences that we will always like to say before this presentation, and it's without inclusion, there's no hope for peace. This is the problem. The problem basically is pedagogical activities are always planned around all the senses, visual, sound, touch, etc. So what happens when you try to design workshops with pedagogical activities for people who has some kind of disabilities like visual or hearing impairment. And this work try to go a little bit further, thinking not only to design a pedagogical activities, workshops around civil culture, but also we try to do a transmedia storytelling between this process. So it's going to be this presentation around these two words, the workshops around this meaningful learning about civil culture, and this commitment that we have to do a transmedia storytelling inclusive. Some theory around the work of designing workshops. We basically work around three big theories and concepts. The first one is active learning. It's based on social constructivism by Vygotsky. The second one is the solo taxonomy that you can see in this slide. That suggests that we have some levels in the understanding and the learning process, and meaningful learning by also Belen Novak, that we try to achieve that the people, the children that we work achieve this meaningful learning, so they can understand about civil culture around peace, around these workshops, but also doing this relation between the concepts and his life experience, his livings. And why are we talking about civil culture and peace? Because one of the things that we discovered is that when we talk about peace with ourselves, peace with others, and peace with our space as a city, for example, we can't talk. We can talk about civic culture with the children. So we work around the Secretariat for Peace and Civil Culture of the local authority of Santiago de Cali in Colombia, where I lived. They have a project called La Paz es mi cuento, Peace is my story. So this is the project that where we began this work to do these workshops in order to create a transmedia storytelling. So Peace is my story from the Secretariat work with 5 workshops in a way that gone in beginning with following my friends, my city, Cali, Colombia is my home, and a final workshop around a message production in order to create a booklet that you can see right over down here. This project, This Is My Story, works only with regular children. I mean, with children with that has no disabilities. So how can we go from this to that, to This Is My Story, to This Is My Inclusive Story? The first thing that we do is to work around four big stages. The first one is to do a SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats analysis. After that, we do some evaluation using the guidelines proposed by CERMI, that is the Spanish Committee of Representatives of People with Disabilities. Some of the recommendations that we can do to design the workshop of the This Is My Story in order to attend a population with disabilities, with children. After that, we do a focus group specialized with experts in pedagogical experiences, of disability experiences, hearing and visual impairment experiences, civic culture and peace experiences, working with people. And after this focus group, this evaluation around CERMI, and this analysis from SWOT, we construct the workshops that finally give to three institutions in Cali in order to they evaluate it and approve them to work with the children. In the other way, remember, this is the design of the workshops, but in the other hand, we have the Transmedia inclusive storytelling. So we worked around the possible products in communication to abort in this transmedia around the workshop. So we planned around a web series that could have sign language and a priority of audio over image. We talk about a print booklet that the Secretariat do it, but in a braille version. We talk about podcasts of living stories, highlighting the experiences, making social media, especially Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We talked a kind of scavenger hunt, a board game about civil culture and peace, historic book, comic book, and finally an offline project exhibition that could gather all the children in one space and all the community in this space to see all the works around peace and culture that we did with the children. So this is the design of the workshop. After all this work that we planned, we began with 5 workshops, and finally in this inclusive proposal, it's about 7. So I am peace. I look after my friends. After that, my family. After that, Cali as a city. After that, some kind to some workshop that we include to avoid sexual and work exploitation. I don't know, with children. That is something very important in this social context of Colombia. After that is a 7 that called Big House, My Big House Colombia, around civil culture. And my commitment is there is the workshop to do the mixes production, but not only to a booklet, but also to do the web series, the commitment to be saved, the booklet, the podcast, and all the social media. So we began with 5. Now there are 7 workshops to this inclusive work around This Is My Story, My Inclusive Story. And we talk about themes and values for each of one of them. So peace, tolerance, love, respect, civil culture, peace and civil culture is the work around this process. So we did this this method around all the things. The workshop began with with the essentially, it's a kind of step by step. So we began with the say hi and the welcome to the workshops. After that, we proposed an activity called rompehielo, like say code breaker, to play and to do some activity around the work that allows us that children will be comfortable and happy in this process. After that, the most of the workshop has a story, a reading story about the work. After that, we proposed an activity specific in pedagogical activity, so we can work around the peace and the civic culture. And after that, we have the close of the workshop. In the presentation in the paper is the proposal of the methodological activity. Around 7, we have the activity to play, but also the record of the things around them. So we designed these workshops to do this intervention with children with visual and hearing impairments, but also we thought that we can talk about social inclusion doing an exclusion of regular children. So this workshop works also for regular children, and we decided to do also with this population, with this group. As a conclusion, so we have that when we're working with children with visual or hearing impairment, it is necessary to understand that it's preferable to increase the number of workshops that to maintain the same 5 workshops, but extend the time. These workshops are not prescriptive. We don't think that this is something that you have to do very strictly way. In the other side, we thought this is a proposal. It depends on the social context. As a conclusion, we have to mean that these workshops are highly valuable as they make it possible to produce content that makes visible the opinions and experiences of children. We don't want that these workshops are about, they tell us what is civic culture, or what is peace, or what is love, or what is friendship. No, it's about how can they see peace, civic culture, love, in her lifetime, in her life experience. Obviously, this workshop, this proposal of this workshop will be perfectable or perfected once we apply the workshop with the people. This is a proposal. This is the design of the workshops around all this work, analyzing the workshops and the theory and the focus group with the experts. But we also know that once we applied this workshop, there will be perfected around the experience with these 3 population, with visual and hearing impairment and regular children. Finally, we would like to tell this phrase that is very important for us. Is as a research tend to be focused on impairments and not on abilities. The population with functional diversity is marginalized as an object of study whose participation is scarce or non-existent. That's what we propose to do with this workshop and with this research to offer the opportunity for children with functional diversity that we can speak and talk about his thoughts and his experience at our peace and civic culture. So this is our references. We would like to thank you all for listening to us. Sorry, obviously, but around my English pronunciation, I just hope that it was enough clearly to understand our research. Thank you very much for this opportunity and for listening to us.